Spoiler warning. While it was inevitable that Young Sheldon Season 7 would revive George Sr. and Mary's arguments, the Big Bang Theory spin-off adopted this development much too quickly. Although Young Sheldon isn't committed to the canon of the Big Bang Theory, the spin-off's willingness to alter the plot of the original show isn't necessarily a good thing. For instance, Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory said he saw his father cheating on his mother, but Young Sheldon Season 7 clarified that Sheldon had just misinterpreted some role-playing between his parents. This retcon unintentionally minimized Sheldon's formative trauma. In a similar vein, Mima's house was destroyed in Young Sheldon's Season 6 finale, but this didn't make her become the stoic, reserved character she was on the Big Bang Theory. Instead of making Mima more conventional and cautious than ever after her house was destroyed by a natural disaster on the Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon Season 7 turned the character into a more rebellious version of herself. Rather than establishing the timeline of the Big Bang Theory, this kind of canonical alternation gives Young Sheldon the impression that it occurs in a different reality.
Hey, mister. Will you buy some beer?
Subscribe to Movie Spy for more twist videos. Mary was put up against George Sr. by Young Sheldon. Too soon, Mary's romance with George Sr. was damaged by her gifts to a new ministry. Given that the canon of the original program occasionally impedes the spin-off, it makes sense that Young Sheldon modifies the plot of the Big Bang Theory. Despite how much they had missed each other earlier in the season, George Sr. and Mary returned to their feud within a week after Mary returned from Germany in Season 7, Episode 5, A Frankenstein's Monster and a Crazy Church Guy. Even though the entire cast of Young Sheldon is prone to arguments and rivalries, it was crucial that George Sr. and Mary couldn't maintain their romantic relationship until the spin-off's last episode. Mary on the Big Bang Theory, after all, seldom ever said kind things about George Sr. That she and her husband would be arguing just before his untimely death made sense. Regretfully, Sheldon's father's untimely death would have been much more heartbreaking if his parents had been in a beautiful spot before to the incident. Therefore, George Sr. and Mary's loving reunion had to end. George Sr.'s approaching canonically recognized death was already rendered more tragic by the discovery that he never cheated on Mary. If George Sr. and Mary had kept up their happy, harmonious lifestyle, this situation would have gotten worse. The disputes between Mary and George Sr. provide the background of the Big Bang Theory. It was too close between Sheldon's parents before his untimely demise in Season 7. Since the incident is too important to Sheldon's past for the show to ignore, the sorrow of George Sr.'s death in Young Sheldon Season 7 cannot be avoided. Mary and George Sr.'s argument about Mary's donation to the megachurch was therefore required. After proving in Season 7 that they still had chemistry and were still in love after decades of marriage, the couple went back to their regular lives. This will make George Sr.'s death in Young Sheldon Season 7 more acceptable, since it would have been a worse canon event for the Big Bang Theory if it had happened after they had addressed all of their problems.
She had to marry me because I got her pregnant.